5, 16, 19, 21, 30, 3 and 10. Check results. You remember?
Yeah, no, Roy Keane was having Micah Richards had a Micah Richards video, which is 2 seconds long, which by the way, criminal. Who's record if you're gonna record someone doing something, why stop it? Firstly, hold the camera straight. He had that down, so I can't, shit on him there too much. But then he goes I guess maybe he was scared that Roy Keane would turn around and notice or something. But recorded 2 minutes and I thought, that's all I need. Do you want to maybe get the whole thing and maybe get a little bit of afters, for us looking on Twitter. But outside of that, there's a video going around and it's Micah Richards. I haven't even watched it with audio and it's 2 seconds. I haven't even been asked to, but at a game this Premier League weekend, with an angry fan or something. I don't know what he did to piss Mika off that much, but probably something pretty bad maybe, because Mika seems like a bit of a happy-go-lucky kind of guy. And Mika Richards, in the only way I can really describe it, sort of had the guy up against the wall, kind of like a cartoon American bully. I would about to give him a wedgie, ask for his lunch money. He had his hands gripping his shirt like this. The guy's tiptoes, just sort of that's the way I remember it anyway. Sort of tiptoes, just about dangling, tapping on the floor. Just sort of, I've never really seen that sort of the clenched shirt twist, the sort of shaking him down type thing. But hey, Mika was doing it. Don't know what it was about. But fair play to you, lads. You're making the rounds on Twitter, and I have to, yeah, it's bloody brilliant. Sorry, I'm just in here sweating bollocks off, because Formula One was yes, what did they say? Monday. Yeah, it was yesterday. It was dog shit, guys. It was so bad. I think some people liked it. I mean, I only saying that because the commentators were going on about this has been a really good Spanish Grand Prix, hasn't it? It's been bloody brilliant. And I was just sitting there bored out of my mind. I don't know if they were trying to convince me or what, but it won't convince me or shit. And it's just sports has just been... Sports is where I get most of my enjoyment, and it comes for at the end of the week. So you kind of get a lot of enjoyment, just sort of, I'll call it residuals, or the residuals are after the fact. Whatever the version of residuals is, but before the fact, right? It's kind of like pre-residuals, right, of enjoyment for the weekend, because you're kind of thinking about it, and then the closer you get to it, the more the excitement builds, like Christmas, right? And you're getting into it, and you're like, oh, football on the weekend, this big game, and then this Chelsea game at home, we should be winning them, and then we go on to watch this on the weekend, and hopefully this happens here, and I'll be watching the Formula One here, and this happens there, and then you get to it, and then how there's that not syndrome, there's that whole thing Chinese people, that idea of Paris, right? And then they get there and it's a shithole, and they're like, what? And because they live so far away from it, and they see it on TV and that, and it's depicted as, it's where dreams come, well, not dreams come true, but it's where love comes true, it's the place of love. You go there, it's this picturesque, perfect place. They probably land there, it's fucking raining or overcast, and they get there and it's just a bit shit, and it's so shocking, and maybe they put all this time and money saving up, and they get there and it's so crap that it caused them to spiral, thinking, what is life even worth, into a state of depression. It's a thing, Google it. Right, it's kind of like that, but every weekend with football. I just sort of, I'm looking forward to it. And then it's I get to the Chelsea game, and it's already a bad start. Chelsea lose at home to Nottingham Forest, great. So that's my mood now. It's like a Dementor type thing. It feels like I'll never be happy again. Every time you lose a football match, right, especially ones you felt like you should have won, it's genuinely great. Every time now, for the rest, at least the next 2 days, when I go to laugh, I just Chelsea lost. For fuck's sake, and the second the whistle blows, and all the pundits and especially right now because of the situation we're in and the money and the players we have and all this other stuff, that you just know the conversation is going to be so heavily about us, whether it's from YouTube or pundits or whatever, in the headlines, and it's fucking hell. It's this is why managers lose all their hair and they go grey after about 2 weeks, but it's it's that, and the second the whistle blows, it's just want the next fixture to be here right now. So it's even harder when we've got international break and we can't right the wrongs for another 2 weeks. But I gotta also teach myself and understand. I learned this last season. You just want the next game week to come quick as possible so you can right the wrongs. And then what ends up happening is you just wrong the wrongs, and it's another loss, and it just doubles up, and you just keep doubling down, double enough, and double next win to right the wrongs, and it just kept being losses. I'm just hoping that's not this season. But yeah, we start off with a loss for Chelsea, and it's like, great. Okay, and you go watch the other games, this and that, you didn't it. Put down a couple of football bets, basically just broke even, nothing really happened. Okay, sure. Go on to the next day. So the big game is, okay, we've got a big game today, and we've got Formula One. We've got United, Arsenal, and you got Formula One. You're watching the Formula One, you're like, okay, this is boring. You're like halfway through, and it's basically just running in race order, like in qualifying order, all the way through, really. Just nothing's happening. It's boring. The commentator's trying to convince you it's good. It's just boring. Finishes, no one you really care about has done well. It's just a bit shit. You end it, click off, go. Alright, cool. United game, Arsenal game. What do I want from this game? I mean, I'd like a draw. That'd probably be the best result for Chelsea. It shows that both teams are fallible or can drop points, which is nice. And even though City are the only team who haven't dropped points, they've at least went down to a couple teams you just think, oh, okay. Fulham gave them a bit of a go, Sheffield United. So that kind of makes them seem like they're beatable, I guess, which is what I'm clinging on to, that at least. Because we are turning into a German sort of Bayern Munich kind of league at the moment. And I'm just thinking, okay, a draw would be the best sort of for Chelsea, but ultimately, if we can't get a draw, I'd actually want United to win. Put a couple bets down on the whole United to win thing, and just kind of hope United win, because even though you get the funny goal bridge clips if United lose, which, I still haven't watched yet, and I guess they will give me joy. They will give me joy. It's just Arsenal are kind of a closer rival, I guess, and them winning infuriates me. The amount of people, men and women, boys and girls, Arsenal start winning, all of a sudden you start to see, like, I'm not going to get into it too much what I'm talking about specifically, but I just never heard people speak about Arsenal this much, have it in their bio or this and that. And not, by the way, Arsenal are obviously a huge club. I'm not saying they're tiny. What I'm saying is, I'm mainly women, girls, right? I've seen like in bios and that, Arsenal, this and that, and they're gassed about it. And like, there is one thing I can't stand, which is like talking about football with people who don't actually care about football. I'd rather talk about whatever you're into or anything else. Like, nothing would annoy me more than watching Chelsea lose to like Fulham, and then someone walking in being like, "What are you watching this for? Arsenal are the best team in the world anyway." Like, but they don't really care. They're kind of just like enjoying it. It's like when people just kind of enjoy the World Cup and it's over, but they don't really know the players' names and this and that. And it's like I've seen nothing more than AFC Arsenal stuff and just talking about Arsenal since Arsenal have been like doing well last season, and it kills me. I'm sick of it, man. Because Arsenal are a big club. That's what I mean. So if Tottenham started doing well, it would like infiltrate my life a little bit, but it wouldn't be massive. Tottenham are also a big club. What I'm saying is Arsenal are bigger, and it's like, I don't know. It's just all of a sudden, I just feel like Arsenal are everywhere, and it's like, I just wanted them to lose. And it feels like when Arsenal are getting last minute fucking winners. And it was just always going to be the way as well. And I'm hoping Arsenal have they can have a fine season, sure, but I don't want them to have a season like last season. And when they're getting last minute winners like that, like if they drop points this game, that'd have been dropping points against Fulham and United. Okay, that's decent. That's better. That's not as good as what they started last season with. But, and they win it, and like, fucking hell. Every result, basically in football, whether it's the team I support or just the other team, so I think, I'd probably want you to win, I'd probably need you to win, and I'd probably need you to lose, has just not been going for me. And it's like, there's this line which I always think about in Infinity War, when like Thor is like strapped up and he's like got the thing over his mouth, and like Thanos is there and the whole world's falling around him, and then Loki's there and he's like, "Don't worry, brother. The shine..." Fuck, I fucked it. He's like, "Don't worry, brother. The sun will shine on us again." Right? That's how I feel every single fucking weekend. It's like, the sun will shine on us again. It has to. It has, like, I took it for granted, man. When things were just going well, I took for granted how Arsenal fans were feeling when it was just going so wrong for so long. And it went wrong for a lot longer than it's been going wrong for Chelsea at the moment, and that is the fear that we are just getting into it going wrong. We've got another 5-6 years of this, 7, 8, whatever.
Ouch.
But I mean, within that, they were still winning FA Cups and things like that. I'm not saying it's gonna be 12th for the next 5 years, but just like it's like Chelsea are losing and every Premier League team I want to win are losing for whatever weekend it is, and Formula One's been boring, and now we've got international break, and it's just kind of like great. Great, especially because I never realized when your team is doing really bad, it's not fun to have football conversation. Like if your team's doing bad, but it's like not as bad relative to the club you support. Like if you support West Ham and your team's doing bad, it's okay. If you support a big top six side, right, and your team's doing really bad like Chelsea, it just makes the convo so boring. Because if everyone's kind of fighting, it's kind of like, oh, everyone kind of has a fair like sort of footing. And it's like if I'm sixth and your team's second, it's like, yeah, you're doing better, but we can still kind of have like a little debate, but also just a normal conversation. It's like when you step into a conversation, oh, what team do you all support? And you have to say Chelsea, and it's like, you're 12. It's like I'm not even allowed to be in the conversation. It's just me being bantered, basically. Oh yeah, but you're shit. And it's like you can't do anything. It's just like I don't. You guys go on. I'll just yeah, it's fine. You know. So I'm hoping we get back from international break and things are a little bit different. But it's been tricky. It's been tricky for sure. But you know, it's not been. I'm just joking. Really, it's not been like, you know. But yeah. I don't know. I'm just gonna end it here. I'm gonna end it here. I think this is 2-4-1. I think so. See you in 2-4-2.
Here with the kids, and they have like 3 kids, and the geezer was probably on like maximum 20 bags a year. Like the most boring bloke you'll ever meet. Like,